4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right, now the joint practice, right? They had the two of them. One was one with the Jets were home, and then the other one with the Giants were home, right? And of course, then this Saturday they're going to be playing each other for real. Now, of course, I think there was only one kind of like a little fight going on there, right? Tempers got up a little bit. Apparently, there was no tackling to the ground. Well, apparently one of the idiots from the Jets didn't quite understand what that meant, and he tackled. I think it was Tyrone Tracy. I think he tackled to the ground. But when you're an idiot, you just don't. It's accept. If you're just a total idiot, hey, you don't know what don't tackle to the ground. Right? Apparently, the other intelligent players out there knew what don't tackle to the ground means, and so it didn't happen but apparently one of the Jets was just a total absolute idiot, and he doesn't know what that means. So I think one of the Jets ripped off, I think, Greg Van Roten's helmet, and Van Roten got up to him, and it was kind of like hopefully kind of teasing him maybe to throw a punch or something like that, because then he would get kicked out of practice. But apparently that didn't happen, but tempers flared up a little bit, just a little bit. But I mean, the for the most part, I mean, the defenses did a very good job on both sides. I mean, so let's not forget, right? I mean, the Giants, got a good defense, but so do the Jets. Those guys collect a paycheck too, right? And the Jets have a very, very good defense. All right, so we got, let's see, as I start, this one? Oh. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so we got, whoops, ball on here. All right, let me find something here. Jets. All right. Giants training camp winners from day one. Joint practices. So it was in Florham Park, home of the Jets. Brian Burns has been a menace on the practice fields going against the offense of the New York Giants this summer. So it should have come to no surprise that the Giants outside linebacker would do the same against the Jets. In Tuesday's first of two joint practices, Burns had the most impressive performance of any Giant. He was dominant off the edge, working over first-round pick Membao, right, in just about every team period. You can tell just by watching Burns that every move he makes between the lines is made with a purpose. His combination of agility and burst jumps off the video in practice, but his game is not solely built on finesse. Burns converts speed to power well and plays with great leverage, certainly drawing the attention of opposing coaches and players. I think his game is unlimited, honestly. Giants All-Pro Dexter Lawrence said of Burns, he can speed rush you, he can power you, he can finesse you. He's not a little guy either, so he's got a lot to his game. He's tapped into more this training camp, and that's good to say. Theo Johnson, respectful but ain't afraid to scrap, is how General Manager Joe Shane described Johnson directly from the Giants scouting report shortly after they selected him in the fourth round of the draft 2 years ago. Johnson proved to be a weapon for Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart in team drills. His 40-yard catch from Dart and deep coverage void was impressive. Then he split a pair of Jets defenders in the red zone for an 8-yard scoring strike from Russell Wilson. Dexter Lawrence. The beast is back. Lawrence reminded everyone of what the Giants' defense front looks like with him in there as he continues to ease into a full workload. He's easing in, right? The most impressive play of his day came when he chased down Jets quarterback Justin Fields from the line of scrimmage to the sideline, 10 yards downfield. Abdul Carter. He garnered his own spotlight, but Burns' dominance clouded what would have normally been a standout performance. Carter had 2 sacks in team periods and earned rave reviews from the Jets coach, Aaron Glenn. Devin Singletary. This was Motor's turn to take the lead in the backfield, led by Tyrone Tracy. Turbo Miller took a starring role in the preseason opener, while Cam Scatterbo continues to work his way back to the field from a hamstring injury. Singletary popped several runs by hitting interior holes with decisiveness and physicality. One of those went for a touchdown in the red zone drills. Jackson Dart. Dart built on the momentum he generated in the preseason debut. Again, he had enough juice in his arm to attack downfield, including on a 40-yard catch by Theo Johnson. The play of the day came courtesy of wide receiver Zach Pascal, and it was made possible by a tremendous back shoulder throw into traffic from Dart. Pascal completed the catch, then spun and tapped both of his feet down for the score. Brian Daboll loved the decision and the throw from Dart. And, of course, we got then Javon Holland. Provided textbook coverage on the back end, breaking up a pass from Fields that was intended for receiver Josh Reynolds by punching the ball out. He's emerging as quite the safety partner for Tyler Nubin. Now, don't forget, right? I mean, there's a video of that, from Javon Holland punching the ball out. Yeah. So the ball, it was caught. It was caught, and then he came in. It looked like it was caught. I'm not sure if the guy got his 2 feet down and made some type of like a football move or whatever it was, but it would have been close. But the ball, he punched the ball out. All right, so the Giants and Jets joint practice day 2. What we learned. One thing they said here is time is running out. Giants head coach Brian Daboll knows what time it is. He knows that while the Giants are still technically in training camp, that the September 7th regular season opener against the Washington Commanders is just 25 days away. It'll be here before you know it. In response to a question about undrafted wide receiver Bo Collins, who is back on the field after missing some practice time, Daboll said this: for those guys or these guys that are competing for roster spots, availability is important because your time is running out. It's getting closer and closer to decision-making. It's getting closer and closer to the season. So all these guys that are not out there are doing everything they can to be back out there. So injury updates. Wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, cornerback Drew Phillips, and guard Evan Neal returned to practice for the Giants. Wide receiver Malik Neighbors, Daquan Felton, running back Scatterbo, and cornerback Trey Hawkins remained sidelined. Quarterback Tay Banks and tight end Chris Mannertz were held out of Wednesday's practice after working on Tuesday. Safety Tyler Nubin was seen working on the exercise bike during practice. He finished practice with his pads off. Jermaine Illuminor. He was excused from one of those practices because his wife gave birth to a baby girl, Amanda. So, I mean, I don't know if it's something on the, what would that be? I'm not sure if it's something on the right side of the Giants offensive line, because just, what was it, a few days earlier, right, GVR his wife gave birth to their second daughter. And now here's a couple days later, Jermaine Illuminor's wife gave birth to their first daughter. So I'm not sure if it's something, I don't know if that means John Michael Schmidt's wife's going to have a baby girl too, or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's something on the right side or not, but congratulations, Jermaine Illuminor. Now, also, one thing is that, listen to the Big Blue Kickoff Live, right? They come Monday through Friday on for about an hour every day. They do a very, very good job. One thing that they pretty much seem like they're in pretty much agreement of is that Jermaine Illuminor has been the most solid offensive lineman for the Giants so far this offseason, preseason, right? So there's a good chance, it's not like if you're thinking like Marcus Bowe or somebody like that is going to unseat him or anything. It doesn't really seem like that. Doesn't seem like that at all. Yeah, Jermaine has done a phenomenal job. Really, really good job. It's going to be interesting to see because this is his second season with the Giants and he had only a 2-year contract. Interesting to see the Giants, or if he wants to come back or the Giants bring him back or not. But he's done very well so far in this preseason. No drop off from last year. Brian Burns. Marcus Bowe was the first team right tackle in Illuminor's absence. And apparently Marcus Bowe was looking pretty good too. Brian Burns, strong summer. Veteran edge defender Brian Burns has been dominant all summer. Let's see. And once again, even Sexy Dexy was noticing it. On Wednesday, Burns talked about what he wants to do entering his 7th NFL season. Just trying to take my game to a level it's never been, Burns said. That will require me doing things I've never did. I'm working with Dex quite a bit. Talking to Dex a lot, just how to manipulate body positions and use my length and power more, and not just my speed and finesse. That's been good to me so far. I'm going to keep working on that. This is step back rookie. Oh yeah, this is funny. This was funny. This is funny. Burns and rookie Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart were the scheduled podium speakers after practice. Shortly after practice ended, Carter came sprinting to the podium in the Giants' indoor practice facility, followed shortly by an out-of-breath, not having the rookie's nonsense, Burns. Carter was at the podium first, but Burns shooed him away. Was that Burns, as a veteran player, pulling rank on the rookie? Burns said, "Damn right," said Burns. Because what happened was, I guess right after the second day was over, Carter immediately ran in, and he was standing at the podium, and he was just standing there. He was just and I'm not sure if Burns is supposed to speak for, I don't know, but Carter was just standing there. He wasn't breathing heavy or nothing. And I guess Burns, or somebody told Burns that Carter already's in there, and I guess Burns wanted to speak first, and so that he can go in instead of waiting around. So Burns sprinted in, and by the time he got in, he was out of breath. He was like, and he said, and Carter was going to give him a fist pump or something like that, and Burns was like, I ain't having none of that, man. So move out of the way, get out of there, move, or get out. And Carter was laughing, Carter. So Carter see Carter leave. And Burns, he was he was hanging his head. He's down he's like, what's up? He's like, he's all out of breath and everything because he ran in. And I think Jordan Renan asked him the question. He said, is that you pulling a seniority rank or something like that? And Burns, he's like, damn right it is. So I guess he wants to speak. I wanted to speak to the media first so he could get in. So that's why he made Carter wait. But it was funny. It's a video. It's on a video too. It's funny. It really is funny. It's a pocket to pass from. Seriously, after Saturday's game during the Giants passed the ball 45 times against the Bills without any of their 4 quarterbacks taking a sack. Starter Russell Wilson said there was a lot of space for him to maneuver in the pocket. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart went out of his way in the game's aftermath to laud the lineman. I sent the message to them after the game that I've never played in a pocket like this, Dart said. They've been able to compete at such a high level. As a quarterback, when you're able to play behind that, it makes your job a lot easier. And I thought that they did a great job. Here we go. This is about the fight. Smart retaliation. Giants offense and the Jets defense were involved in scrums on back-to-back running plays. It looked like the Giants guard Greg Van Rote and the Jets edge defender Will McDonald were involved, as well as Giants guard John Runyon and Jets cornerback Quantez Stiggers. Marcus Bowe called the action by the Giants veteran guard smart retaliation. It's retaliation. It's not like you're just going to hit him. It's not like he didn't do anything, Bowe said, so it's a response. I respect coaches' wishes not to fight, but it gets to a point where you can't just let people just jump all over you. How many times is too many before retaliation is needed? One time's too much, Bo said. So that was one of the idiots for the Jets took one of our running backs down to the ground, and there was some retaliation there. But apparently, I guess like nobody got kicked out at all or anything like that. So it wasn't like an all-out brawl or anything like that. But apparently, unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is, right? But apparently, Mr. Jude McAteemney did not have a phenomenal practice session, shall we say. Place kickers don't miss many field goals during practice sessions without a rush coming at them. Thus, it was kind of jarring to see second-year place kicker Jude McAteemney make only 6 of 9 field goal attempts on Wednesday. He kicked in 2 sessions, making 3 out of 5 the first time with back-to-back misses wide left from 45 and 50 yards, though he did make a kick from roughly 53 yards. In McAteemney's second go-around, he missed a 33-yard extra point. Not impressive. Not impressive at all. But, to be fair and all that stuff and everything, right? We still have Graham Gano, and he looked pretty good against the Bills, right? He made 3 50-yard field goals, although one of them he did have to kiss off the upright. But also in the second joint practice, the Giants defense strong again in joint practice versus the Jets. Giants defense wins for the second straight day against Gangrene. But I said that, it was kind of a lot of what I heard too, right? Is that, the Jets defense looked pretty good too. So don't think that the Giants offense dominated or anything like that against the Jets defense. The Jets defense, did pretty darn good. But as I said, let's not forget, I said, I don't know who was missing for the Jets. That I don't know. What I do know is that our best wide receiver, our best 2 players on offense were not on the field. Our best offensive lineman and our best wide receiver were not on the field. That makes a big difference. You put Malik Neighbors out there, okay? That's huge. Opens stuff up. Okay, got to pay a lot of attention to Mr. Neighbors, okay? And I said if we have our best left tackle out there too, that can make a difference as well. So, but to be expected, the Jets defense played pretty well. That's their strong point, right? So, although once again, things could be, what would you say? Surprising, but possibility early on that the game won't be a high scoring affair. Like I said, once you start getting the second and third string defenses in there, things can happen, right? But there's a good chance it may not wind up being 34-25 like it was against the Bills and the Giants. Right? Let's see here. The Giants hosted the Jets for their second joint practice of the week on Wednesday ahead of their Saturday matchup at MetLife Stadium, where the Giants will be the home team. Right? Another hot August day was highlighted by the Giants defense harassing the Jets offense and holding Justin Fields to a marginal passing day on 11-on-11 drills. Tay Banks was added to the Giants injury report and did not practice. Drew Phillips returned but practiced sparingly. I was unable to see the 7-on-7 red zone due to my vantage point, but I ascertained that Justin Fields went 4 of 7 twice in his 2 periods, 8 of 14 total. Fields' 4 completions were touchdowns in the initial session. Again, it was red zone. Phillips and Cordell Flott had their snaps limited, leading to plenty of first-team reps for Nick Jones and T.J. Moore. So once again, the Giants didn't necessarily have their starters on the field, right? D. Williams also received a few first-team reps. So we got Nick Jones, T.J. Moore, and D. Williams receiving first-team reps. So, of course, that might make the Jets' offensive, numbers look a little bit better than maybe what they would, right, under normal circumstances. Let's see. Something must have happened to Tyler Nubin early in practice, presumably in 7-on-7 drills. He was off to the side on the bike without pads by the middle of practice. Raheem Lane received first-team reps with Nubin out, and Dane Belton saw the field often in 2 and 3 safety sets. Belton was receiving nickel snaps with Phillips on a pitch count. So, we have guys in the secondary who can play at a very high level. The problem is, can they stay healthy? Can Phillips stay healthy? Can Nubin stay healthy? Can Flott stay healthy? Giants' first-team defense got after Fields and held the Jets' passing attack in check. First 11-on-11 period. This is from Nick Filato. Kayvon started with a big tackle for loss. The Jets' biggest play was a zone read Fields keeper around Burns. Not sure who, if secondary, would contain. The run defense was sound. A lot of tackles around the line of scrimmage. Potential sacks. Abdul Carter, Micah McFadden. Let's see. Oh, we got it all on there. I'm going to his Twitter feed here. Chauncey Golston, Toman Fox. So, Nick Filato. The Giants' first-team defense continues to pressure Justin Fields. Burns likely had a sack off play action on the last period. There may have been another sack versus the first team that led to an incompletion. The Jets also had a false start. However, Fields did break off another, let's see here. Go to Nick Filato's Twitter page here, and let's see here. Fields did break off another huge long zone read that may have went for a touchdown. Allen also hit a huge weak side run that was likely a touchdown. Giants weren't bad against the run, but those were notable plays. So that's one thing, without question, the Giants are definitely going to have to clean up this year. Without question. That defense, that run defense. Because even Mr. Mara, he said, I'm getting a little sick and tired of seeing other teams just walk up and down the field on our defense. And, when you think about, the Giants, you don't think so much the offense, you think Giants defense, right? And when another team can just walk up and down the field against the Giants defense, it's not pretty. It'll be interesting to see, can the Giants do a better job this season against the run? If not, I'd like to see him do like next season in the draft, would be get somebody up the middle, right? Somebody, whether it's because you don't know what the Giants are going to do. Let's hope they can find and re-sign Micah McFadden. That would be fantastic, right? But if Bobby Okereke's next season with the Giants, they might even, I don't even know. I don't know. But, next season, they signed him for 4 years. So next year would be Bobby Okereke's 4th year, with the Giants. So, I don't know if the Giants want to add maybe a huge defensive tackle early in the draft, where they got Darius Alexander in the 3rd round. Maybe if they get somebody on the offense in the 1st round, then it goes a good stud defensive tackle, something in the 2nd round, or vice versa. Take somebody, up the middle. Somebody who can clog up the middle, whether it's a defensive lineman or a real good linebacker, right? I would really like that. Giants and defense, go somebody up the middle, really help against that run. Be fantastic.